Hi everyone. So I'm an associate lighting designer at WSP. I've been in the lighting industry almost 14 years and I've been working on rail projects for over 10 years. My presentation is all about my lighting journey in rail projects, and I'm going to be covering in the presentation about safety aspects and the lighting design. So what is rail lighting? So rail lighting is to provide illumination for passengers and train drivers to satisfy people's safety and station activities. A rail environment is classed as a high-risk area, especially on station platforms where passengers are at risk at platform edges. So there are many specific requirements for rail applications. The lighting design requires many factors to be understood using criteria to provide safer environments. These days, railway stations are becoming more like shopping centres, giving passengers more flexibility in time and comfort. So, as a designer, we should be looking at various different aspects of a station, whether it's the occupancy or the architectural, or if there's art or the landscape or wayfinding within the station. So, as in for this, we create lightings of layers of light. The layers of light can transform station environments. By using the layers of light, we can create safe and functional, but add excitement and drama. The layers of light can also create unique identity within spaces and use as focal points and orientation for passengers and station staff. By creating visual interest with depth, texture, warmth and ambience, making sure the lighting scheme is efficient and maintainable. During the design process, we need to also consider how the station staff and consumers operate within the space and how the space is preserved to satisfy visual aspects. Create spaces that are safe, functional, help passenger flow, and define important areas like the platform edges, entrances, and exits. So, what do we look at in consideration when we're looking at a station design? We need to look at the visual comfort, lighting levels, maintenance, lighting mock-ups, lighting control, passenger safety, and heritage and identity of the building. So, when considering how we a railway station should be lit, it's important to first define visual tasks and what each space is required and addressing them. A good starting point is to review current rail industry standards. The lighting standards collates all information necessary and gives the designer a set of output criteria that a designer would need to deliver. The rail industry standards provides lighting standards for infrastructure managers responsible for managing and operating stations. The document is intended as a single reference point for identification of standards and guidance documents required for planning, design, operation, maintenance, and lighting installations. It provides specific requirements for lighting and also references associated material published in the British Standards, Accessibility or Code of Practice, SIBSI, SLL and OLP for lighting in public areas. The lighting designer is responsible for making the design decisions with agreement of the project asset engineers and managers. So on my left you see a calculation model that we've used, and on the right hand you see the final product. The images you currently see are the Western Arcade at London Bridge Station. The avoidance of glare is always essential when coming to lighting railway stations, and so ideally light sources should not be visible and the luminaire should be controlled downward with the correct light distribution specified and the correct optics. Using 3D lighting simulation models, we are able to identify early in the project stages how the luminance and luminance within the space will behave and how much light is delivered vertically and horizontally on surfaces. The 3D model also identifies potential opportunities within the space to simulate further layers of light, enhancing architectural features, vision or wayfinding tool, giving passengers a safe and pleasing journey. So on the left hand you see the calculation model, and this is just purely for the functional lighting. So at this present, when we were designing this space, we knew the feature lighting, we wouldn't have any control on it, so the feature lighting wouldn't be dimmable. So at that point, we would have to find out what would be the uplighters around the arches and defining the correct output. And obviously, this could be a risk as well. So it's really important to have these models so it can kind of safeguard our risk that we're not overlitting the arches or we're not highlighting them or enhancing them as they should be, and then that way we can correct the balance of the light within the space. The functional lighting is the only thing that's dimmable within the space. So we talk about maintenance of a station. Maintenance of a station is a very important aspect to be considered at the design stage. The lighting design needs to consider how luminaires should be installed and how they're accessible for the installation, and the maintenance by operatives, especially on the platform environment. Typically using portable access towers as well away from the open platform. So as you can see here, we've got a lighting boom, and this lighting boom that we've created not only combines lighting, it also combines other disciplines and services. So as you can see, we also have incorporated speakers. We've also incorporated CCTV within the lighting boom. So as an access and maintenance, what we've looked at is whether we could have a hinged lighting boom system. So a competent, someone that's not competent to handle the electrical equipment, that someone else that can only handle the CCTV, they can go and access that with having someone fully capable of using the equipment. So as we're looking at lighting design for stations, we're not only now looking at lighting, we're also looking at other services, as I was saying. So if there's an opportunity where we could combine speakers or CCTV within a lighting boom, and then at the back of it there's a cable management system, this makes the maintainability within the station more accessible, and then it's just one lift that goes up to maintain it. We have to also look at the cable management and figure out whether the cables, the radius, bending radius of the cables is not limited and it's accessible to get to the actual light fittings. And by doing this, we can bring a full coordinated design and bring in other services in with the lighting as well. So, as part of the design, it's always important to build lighting mock-ups to refine the design and provide opportunities to stakeholders for their views. The use of lighting mock-ups helps the design process and thinking, allowing the design team to see the effect of a luminaire is going to have when installed. Whether you are working on a new building, a refurbishment, or retrofitting an existing one, a mock-up is the opportunity to see the proposed fixture in action. Some mock-ups are evaluations of one light against another similar one. Other mock-ups are verifying the design concept. You can even explore and refine the design ideas in a workshop, a kind of process. The lighting mock-up needs considerate coordination with lighting manufacturers and others, and it's crucial in time management. So as you can see here on the right hand side, we're able to understand the texture and surfaces of the material, and where we've had to now coordinate with the speakers as well in the columns, we've identified what is the best way to uplight the column arches and actually see how it could be fixed and positioned. And at the time we were aware of the shadowing of the speaker, but we kind of saw that it wasn't too bright, the brightness levels were, so not so much. And then you could see on the other side there, the luminaire is slightly higher than the other. So we kind of went for more of a recessed linear uplighting where it would be out of the people's vision as well as they walk through the station. So over to lighting controls. So as part of As being a lighting designer, we need to all be conscious of how much energy and consumption and carbon emissions we're producing. And at that point, we also need to think about innovative ways of how we can reduce this amount of energy. So a full lighting control system will always ensure the lighting will operate when required and balances the natural and shadowing during the daytime. allowing all the lights to be dimmed, as you can see in the images here. This will require investigating the latest LED technology and lighting control system. The lighting control system can also collect real-time information and immediately identify incidents or maintenance issues. The emergency lights are also monitored and to reduce maintenance over life of the building to save facilities teams time and money. So as you can see, during the daytime the lights are off and during the night they're on. So what we've done for the platforms at London Bridge, as part of the lighting control protocol, during the engineering hours, 1 till 4 in the morning, we know that there's no one operating using the station at that time. So we thought the levels could be possibly dimmed by 60%. But the only worries would be is that when the people are coming on to clean the stations, how the lights come on. So we've approximately installed about 15 multi-sensors on the platforms. And these multi-sensors detect daylight, movement detection, and they can detect how much light is on the platform. So this saves time for the cleaner to go to the lighting control or security people to alert them that they're going to be cleaning on the platform. So in that sense that we can save furthermore energy costs. Also, the sensors that we have on the platforms, so if there was someone trespassing coming onto the tracks or coming up onto the platform, the light levels will ramp up to 100%. So again, the lighting control system also can create various different layers of light and different effects. So as you can see here, we have 2 lighting elements in the image, which is a lighting column and some suspended lighting booms. And with the lighting control, then we could simulate if we were going to have RGB white LED lighting to uplight the roof and the canopy. This is achievable again through the lighting control system. Let's say if there was an event on, the whole roof can turn blue. And also, this also helps in wayfinding and the identity of the station space as well. So, passenger safety and security. So overall, the lighting in the station should not be variable. So I'm talking about the illuminance. There shouldn't be like really big patches and dark spaces designed, because the CCTV needs verification, and that's why it needs to be a nice uniform level. This also assists the security requirements that we need to achieve on a station. The type of CCTV camera also needs to have a good color rendering. So from the light source, we need to approximately have like 80 RA, 80 color rendition high. Color cameras need to be 3 times more lux levels than black and white cameras. So these are the main elements to be considered in the design. So heritage and identity as well is a big issue as well. As you can see, many railway projects are old buildings with unique architectural features, which provide opportunities for designers to use their creativity to enhance or highlight culture and heritage projects. This philosophy has influence for new buildings and designs to include and create iconic features. So this concludes my presentation, so I'd like to thank everyone for much listening.